where his role will be, we'll see. I think this is one of those like adding an additional tool to the toolbox so that during the postseason run, depending on how guys are playing and how they're shooting, and THT maybe struggled to shoot from the perimeter at times. Caruso, if KCP isn't shooting as well, you have another guy that historically has shot the three well that you can maybe put in spot situations that can get you over the hump for that one game that you need to try to continue to advance.
The LA Lakers made headlines yesterday afternoon with the signing of free agent Ben McLemore. However, this signing has largely went unnoticed by most of the media and maybe some of the Laker fans themselves. But in my opinion, I believe that the Lakers just pulled off a home run move with this signing. So let's break it down. Let's talk about how important Ben is going to be for this LA team, what he means for the rest of the players on the roster, and what the expectations should be going forward for both McLemore and Los Angeles. Danny Green and Wesley Matthews. You know what these two both have in common? Irritating most of Laker Nation with their streaky shooting. They're good shooters, don't get me wrong, but more times than not, they'll have a couple of games where they can't miss, then followed by a span of games where they can't make a shot to save their life. But another disturbing trend that I noticed with both of these players were their inability to show up in big time moments in the playoffs. What do I mean by this? Well, in Danny Green's viewpoint first, during the regular season, Green shot the 3 at a respectable 36.7%. Then, as Laker Nation can now remember, the playoffs started. And to keep it kindly, Danny Green struggled. Take this from his 32% against the Nuggets and the Heat. A large role into why he got traded in the first place. Now, the thing with this is that Danny's struggles were well known. What isn't being mentioned though, is that Wesley Matthews, historically in his postseason career, hasn't been the best of a floor spacer. Last season, Matthews shot the ball amazing from 3 at 40% during the playoffs. That's great, that's amazing. But if you take a look closely, besides this most recent playoff run he has had a career playoff average of 34.3% from 3. It may seem that I'm being critical right now, especially considering that Matthews, as mentioned before, did shoot the ball well last year. But the problem that the LA Lakers have now is that they can't have a round where a couple of their key floor spacers can't make shots. If the Lakers were the first seed and potentially had to play the Warriors, this wouldn't be an issue because they can get past them easily. But considering that if both AD and LeBron aren't available to play until near the playoffs, there is a good chance this team can be in the 5 to 7 seeding, meaning much tougher opponents in each round, rather than being able to avoid these types of teams before until the very last chance possible. So, the Lakers need those shooters to make those key important shots. The question that now needs to be asked is Ben McLemore that type of guard? Well, to answer that question, yes, and here's why. In their postseason last year, Ben was only getting 11 minutes a night, but my goodness, was he efficient in those few amount of minutes. In their first round series against the Thunder, he shot 40% on 4 attempts a night, and in their second round series, ironically against the Lakers, Ben was able to shoot 38% on around 3 attempts a night. In simplicity, Ben is going to fit in perfectly due to how he knows where to be on the court with superstar players. Whenever Harden drove in, Ben found the right places to spot up and take advantage from Harden's ability to get to the lane. What do you think is going to happen when LeBron James, an athletic freak and one of the best passers in this game has ever seen for his size, is able to get towards the rim, or even just finding open teammates off doubles? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 25 minutes. It doesn't matter how many minutes Ben gets, he will make an impact. Only playing 11 minutes a game and being able to shoot that well? Do you understand how impressive that is? Most players cannot find their rhythm in any game like that, but Ben, in playoff intensity as well, was able to do that. He's going to fit in perfectly. But the question that now needs to be asked is, what should the expectations be? Derek Fisher highlighted it best. Ben is going to be a potential plug-in piece if one of the other established shooters on this roster is on a streaky cold streak. And the best part about all of this, as we said before, even in limited minutes, Ben is still producing at an efficient level. As a result, considering all of these factors, I believe Ben being able to average potentially 8 points and 3 rebounds on efficient shooting from the field is something that Laker fans should be expecting from him. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, peace.